У меня сегодня вечер трендов, брендов и...
Today is the evening of trends, brands, and nice conversations.
Алексей Павлов. Привет, Алексей.
Alexei Pavlov is with me. Hello, Alexei from Rostelecom Solar. Alexei,
Руководит и развивает
he is the head and developer of the business,
бизнес-центр
develops business center of fighting against cyber attacks, response center against cyber attacks. I don't really understand what you do. I always thought that you, the head of the JSOC.
Привет.
Volodya Dryukov is the head of the JSOC. So you're the second guy.
Сложнее ситуация.
Well, let's see. Situation is much more complicated.
В Solar работал сначала
Previously in Solar, I've been working as analytic, then pre-sale.
собираться отдел, в
Then I've collected a department, and at a certain moment of time, Vova has offered me a topic related with the business development, and
направлении сейчас я возглавляю,
this area is being headed by me. But of course, pre-sale,
особенно
I couldn't leave,
нынче для всех.
especially in such difficult days like today.
Про времена и будем разговаривать.
Well, right now we're going to speak about those days. And if you are in the borderline between technical diving and these business vessels,
Про
then let's speak about what has changed in informational security in the market, what has changed in recent 6 months, and how do you feel yourself, what do you feel in the market.
Хорошо, давай тогда начнем с того,
Okay, let's begin by saying that from the point of view of informational security, there are changes which are noticeable by everybody. The growth of a number of DDoS attacks, violations of different sites, other things. There are less noticeable things which, to my point of view, will show themselves more and more. And this is activity of advanced criminals whose main objective is not to break something very quickly and to announce about their position, but to penetrate into the infrastructure of the company,
и после этого
stay there for a certain period of time, and after this do big damage.
видим, что
Today, we don't see that for a certain company from the real sector of economy, in the industry or the energy, they are non-acceptable risks. But I wouldn't avoid and I wouldn't disclose this vector of attacks. So you're saying that serious guys will be targeting to stop or to seriously influence organizations
и других.
of industry, fuel and energy sector, etc. Yes.
через какое-то время всего
I think that after a certain period of time, all these mass DDoS attacks will come to nothing. They will get tired of it.
постоянно происходит в течение
And things which are happening constantly within a long period of time, it's not interesting to people.
вот такой масс.
That's why, yes, I think this mass trend of DDoS will disappear.
А вот
It will still stay in a high position compared to the previous year, but targeted attacks with a serious stoppage of business processes and, God forbid, technological processes. This is something that we can expect in the nearest future. Nearest future, when? When we should faint? Well, according to our experience and according to the experience of your company as well.
АПТ не развивается там за неделю.
APT is not developing within a week. It takes months. So I think right now we can speak about months. So the first signs might appear in the beginning of the summer, maybe in the middle of the summer. Something will show up a little bit later.
Что летом у нас есть
So I think that in the summer we have the Independence Day, so we will have some gifts during that. Well, speaking about connection to certain dates, on one side it would be very logical.
Многие ждали
And many people were expecting these mass things by 9th of May, but
да, то, что мы все
out
знаем.
of public things that we know, RootTube have suffered. Also, I have seen, and by the way,
инсайдерами.
yes, it was a story with insiders. It's something else. I wanted to remember the case with Lenta.ru, which on 9th of May had other headers, but it was not insiders. Well, according to the official position, these were actions of insiders. So this is something else.
Связываться к
I wouldn't get connected to certain dates, but I think that as soon
определенке что-то нащупать,
as
реализуют.
criminals will find something, they will realize it, they will do it. And for example, today,
Установили базу данных утечек Яндекс.
database of leakages were updated for Yandex Food. Yes, we've been speaking about Yandex Food today.
Там в этом
And I want to Google and see what's happening with this database. What's happening about me.
Информация, там есть паспортные
There
данные.
is information, there's a passport data, registrations, and everything else. Did you look at it? Have you seen all the names? Not, of course. Of course not. Today I'm here with you the whole day.
Вряд ли злоумышленники
That's why it's doubtful that criminals will dedicate it to PhDs.
совпали.
Я...
I think these are just adjacent dates. Yeah, by accident.
Мы много
Алекс.
говорили про...
We've been speaking a lot about import substitution. By the end of the day, I'm losing my words, and we've been speaking about the part of vendors who previously have been closing big pieces of informational security, and they stopped doing that. Well, I would like to ask you how you, as a supplier of services, how do you live in the conditions of import substitution? When you form the same JSOC, you have the full set of different tools. So what do you do with them? Well, according to our mass services like MSS and JSOC, we did have components related to foreign vendors in different industries. For example, we had suppliers of feeds compromising indicators from the Western companies, which, as it is well known as a first community, they just stopped updating. They stopped sending us updates. We, in the condition of MSS, we had computer anti-spam solutions from Western vendors, and it's understandable. As soon as the special operation has started, we have understood that earlier or later this might happen. That's why we did have a certain plan, because always the choice was done from the position that there should be a domestic solution and there should be a good and mature solution. So in some directions, we have only domestic solutions because they are really mature, and like application firewalls.
Там, в части межсетевых экранов.
In the brand malwares, import substitution should happen, but of course it was understandable. We did have some clients that worked on Western solutions of those brand malwares, so we've been putting them in a certain queue. Well, of course, we've tried to minimize downtime when we did it in a planned order, but everybody started running in this direction because the time was going away and we had a lot of clients. Speaking about SOC, situation is very simple, and it's not only for us, but for the whole community of MSSP providers.
В основе услуг лежали
Many of them, in the basis of their services, had Western CMs, but we had two vendors. You had double-headed dragon, two twin brothers sitting inside. Yeah, that's what was happening. And that's why all the clients... What is the main advantage of CM? CMs have not been discontinued simultaneously. That's why it's understandable. Some have been discontinuing their activities. It's not like we are leaving Russia and we're disconnecting you. No, these were official letters, like we are stopping our activity, we cannot provide technical support to you, but no word about the product. Therefore,
продление контрактов.
continuation of contracts is the painful stage. So when we deny on old contracts, well, this question can be equalized so that not everybody will migrate to local solutions. But after the migration of the clients, we had to legitimize our activity by using another CM. Some have been transferred to CM that was a domestic one. Some clients came to us with a request that there's another domestic CM which they want to switch to, and therefore this technological possibility was also developed with another large supplier, so you will have it. Basically, yes.
MSP-провайдер не должен быть
MSSP provider shouldn't be
выбор.
the only partner. There always should be a choice, because there are different situations. I understand you.
Пожалуйста,
Can you tell me, please, about business part? How do clients live in a condition of import substitution? Well, except for the fact that they offer you another CM. Well, clients, they all live differently, and honestly speaking, I would like to tell you that out of our clients working with the SOC, there were no serious hacks of the infrastructure. Yes, of course, we did have some phishing attacks. Some people were attacked through the web scanning, some been attacked through DDoS attacks. They DDoS their services, but they had another telecom operator, and we could not provide them protection from DDoS attacks. But speaking about big hacks and leakages, nothing like that happened. From the point of view of new clients and their arrival to us right now, we are observing the situation when people, at the last moment of time, they're searching for solutions. Some people are waiting in hope that the explosion is not going to happen over their head. So some already have suffered.
Кто-то выжидает,
Some people are expecting, some are trying to find fast solutions, and of course service related solutions are really fast. The stage of connection like 5 to 10 days, and right now we have reduced these, especially for WAF and anti-DDoS, because people need it, they need it immediately, they are under attack. So sometimes it takes 24 hours and maybe even less when people really need it. There were a lot of attempts to make provocations during May 9th related with certain drinks by attacking a system which wouldn't allow. Yeah, this case was mentioned today.
Пришлось оперативно защищать, чтобы как-то вся...
So we had to protect it so that whole country would have a good May 9th holiday. Good job. Good job.
Давай про кейсы.
Listen, okay, let's speak about cases. If you started speaking about that, can you share with me
Твой
your opinion?
самых
Top three
впечатливших тебя
most impressing events in recent 6 months
безопасности.
in the area of IT security. Well, that's understandable. That's understandable.
Он меня прям впечатлил.
My final vacation have impressed me sincerely, good, positive. Yeah, let's speak about work.
Мне
Не
очень
вызывай у нас зависть. Не надо.
Don't make me jealous.
до всего.
No, I was able to rest before this happened. Well, I believe that
Атака на госмонитор.
there was an interesting attack against Ross Monitor related with DFA side, because
Правильный политик.
it was a proper, strategically proper vector to make
Конечно,
bring people to panic. The second announcement of the anonymous company from the point of view of the cyber attack.
Это прям серьезно.
What do you think? Was it a serious announcement? These APT, serious APTs, or
Люди, которые
why not?
в
Or these are people who are playing,
про меня.
I will take everything and let everybody know about me.
может быть и так, но
I think that it can be both ways, but I still think why not? Why not? I think yes.
третий момент это, наверное,
And topic number 3 is out of those events which have astonished me,
отечественных vendors,
its readiness of the domestic vendors to help everybody, both clients directly and MSSP partners.
когда компания
A bright example is when a company, contracting the process, and it takes a certain period of time, and therefore we have to look at this in a moment. We need licenses, we need something else, we need some consulting, patches, updates, if something is not working because the client is very specific, for example, very specific website,
очень
and vendor
оперативно отвечали, готовились.
should reply to this very fast. They should go for the dialogue vendors who represent developing CM systems in the roles of catching up, also actively ready to go for the dialogue. So everybody understands the situation in the active market instead of behaving as kings. Okay, please come to us. We're going to be happy about you.
Какое-то участие.
They do actively participate in the life of companies and in the attempt of protecting them. And this is very good. This is a right and proper statement, and we behave in the same way.
Спасибо.
Thank you very much.
Кажется, что ты
I think that you're one of the most positive speakers from the point of view of today's realities.
в течение сегодняшнего дня
Because in the course of today, we've heard a lot of horror stories, but from you I hear good stories, the peace, the life, optimism, everything's moving to the future. Okay, my friends, I had Alexei Pavlov in my studio, Rostelecom Solar. If it's interesting for you to hear optimistic
защите, то вам
approach to defense, you should come to this guy. Thank you very much, Julia.